Yep, we're recording. Welcome, everybody, and I'm glad you could make it. And for those that watch this in the recorded version, I hope you find some use out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get started. I really do enjoy doing this, and I know y'all see the effort that I put into it. And I learned so much. I'm learning so much from doing this. So I can't thank you guys enough for letting me do this.
Letting you do this?
Yeah, for letting me. I couldn't do this if I didn't have you. And that's I really mean, I was thinking that today. Why would I do this if I didn't have you? And so it's good for me, and it's a win-win. That's what it is. But I wanted to thank you guys. And for all the good you do. I mean, we have such great coaches in the room. I enjoy your teachable moments. I enjoy those 4 days off. And everybody else seems to be really benefiting and enjoy them too. So thank you, Lisa and Dorothy, for your
Well, today's was awesome, Dorothy. I liked your military teachable moment.
Yeah. So I love this. I know you saw it in my post, but can you ever remember feeling like this? I can remember feeling like this.
Like you could conquer the world.
Yeah, yes. and I guess just because of everything I've gone through, I saw this little girl, and it just struck a nerve in me. And so I just wondered, did it anybody else? Did you look at it and see the innocence, and yet that confidence? And oh yeah, whoever this little girl is, I think she will go far. So it's hard to forget someone who gave you so much to remember. I love that. And this week, I'm doing memories, and the person that comes to my mind that was and is an influence in my life is. And gosh, the first one that comes to my mind is Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones was my best friend's mother. Look at that. This is going to fall right together. And they treated me like one of their kids. Without them, I'm not me. Plain and simple. Absolutely. A memory that I shared with my best friend in high school is, so we're walking down the hall one day, and I said something about being chubby. And she was chubby, and she thought I was talking to her. I wasn't, but I was, and she slapped me.
Oh no!
And we got into a fight in the hallway. We're still friends. We're still friends.
Funny.
I'm sure there was something that was her fault before all of that happened. I just told you about what was my fault. Yeah, that wasn't good. And when it comes to grandparents, my favorite memory is my grandmother spoiled me, so I have so many. I would say it's when she chased my brother with a knife because he was going to whip me.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm through. Who's next? I had an interesting childhood. I was a hillbilly from a coal miner up in West Virginia. It was a full and rich life.
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
The person that comes to mind that was or is an influence in my life was my husband.
Wow.
Always taught me to stand on my own 2 feet. And that was not an easy task. Because I came into our marriage as a person who never really had to do anything except for babysit my brothers and sisters. I didn't have to cook. So, he knew how to cook. So he taught me how to cook. Plus, he really did stand on my own. A memory I share with my best friend in high school. Oh my gosh. I can't even remember high school.
Well, do your best friend that you have in the room with you. I think that would be even more special.
We have shared so much that it would take all night.
Well, you just get to pick one, Dorothy, of you and Jan.
It's not too much.
Okay.
When it comes to my grandparents, my favorite memory is probably my grandmother, who really had a hard time walking. She had a problem with her feet and had to have special shoes built for her. She would take us by cab, because they didn't drive, they didn't have a car, down to the Babalo boat every year, and we would go through the Verner's plant, and we would go on the Babalo boat, and of course Grandma would just sit, but we would dance and we would run around that boat like we owned it, and it was just, it was so much fun.
Is this your mother's parents?
Yes, and
Okay.
I'll tell you how funny she is, and you might appreciate that. She taught her parakeet to say Buddy is a shit pot.
Oh,
And Buddy was her husband. That was your grandpa?
No, that was her bird. His name was Buddy, and
oh.
he taught her to say that. What I'm most grateful for today, I think probably friendship. I had a really fun time with two people from the church. We made bookmarks for, I belong to the card making group, and we made bookmarks here. And I told them, bring all your ideas with you, because we're all learning from one another about stamping but we watercolored the bookmarks, which was, I mean, they've never done that. So, and then we worked as a team for like 4.5 hours.
Wow.
Making
That's awesome.
bookmarks, and it was fun. It was.
Did you take pictures?
I've got them here if you want me to hold some of them up.
Yeah. I'll come out of this so we can see her.
These I haven't cut apart yet, but this is 12 of them. We made 24, but
Here.
I don't know if you can see them, but
Oh, yeah, we can see her.
They're beautiful.
beautiful.
They are beautiful.
We run them through an embossing machine, so they're raised, and then and here's the other ones, and then they've got different kinds of sayings on them. But we give these.
Tony, will you get that? It's Janine. So are we back? Are we all back together again here?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm here.
Okay. So who's next?
I'll go next. A person that comes to mind that was an influence in my life is, I would say, our next door lady who took care of my sister and I when we were growing up. And we always called her Aunt Lida, even though she wasn't a relative. And she just was there because my mom had to work. A memory that I share with my best friend in high school is in my junior year. She got to go to Canada with my family, and she had never been anywhere outside of Cortland County, so it was a great week up in Canada. When it comes to grandparents, my favorite memory is, I would say, going and sitting on the riverbank with my grandmother while she fished. I didn't because I'm not a fisher person, but she had to have somebody with her. And plus, she taught me a lot in cooking. I'm most grateful for today is Dick is doing a lot better. Seems like he's getting over the congestion. It's been a tough battle with these lung infections. And what I want to share most today is my garden is coming really great. But I am so tired today from working in it. So it was a good day.
Good. It's a good tired.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I guess I'll go next.
All right, go ahead, Jan.
The person that comes to mind that was an influence in my life, I was close to both of my grandmothers. I didn't have grandfathers,
Oh.
but I was the oldest on both on both sides, oldest grandchild, and I just adored both of my grandmothers. They were friends to each other as well as being my grandmothers, but they were both extraordinary people, women. They were way ahead of their time. My one grandmother owned rooming houses in Detroit and ran, at one time, she owned and ran four of them. And my grandmother, the family owned a trucking company, and my grandfather died a year before my mother and dad were even married, and then came along a year after that. But she ran the trucking company from the time my grandfather died until we finally sold it to the city of Detroit in 1967, I think it was.
Huh.
So they were extraordinary ladies, and they were my cheering system, and I couldn't have gotten through to where I am now without my grandmothers. They were just wonderful.
Wow.
So what I'm most grateful for today, I agree with Dorothy, is friends. The older I get, the more I realize that, you never have enough friends. And I just don't want to lose the friends that I have. So, and I'm grateful for that. And the thing I want to share is that something came to me today, and I'll pass it along to you guys, and that's just don't give up. So that was reinforced to me today, and I'll share it with you guys.
That was
That's
awesome.
great.
Thank you. Who's next? Are you the only one? No, we got Marcia. Bird Mom, how about you?
Okay, the person that comes to my mind that was an influence in my life, one of them is my aunt. They always had animals, and she was like a cat lady. She would go down, when she lived in the Bronx, she'd go down and feed all the stray cats in the street. And it just always impressed me that she had such compassion for animals, and it continued, till the end of her life. A memory that I share with my best friend in junior high school would be, she would come over to my house every day and eat lunch, and then we'd walk back to school. And one day my mother asked me to take out a bag of garbage. And, I took it out, but we were engrossed in such heavy conversation that I walked with that bag of garbage all the way to the schoolyard. And here I am, we're ready to go into school, and I have this bag of garbage in my hands. I didn't remember to put it in the can. So it was silly. Yeah. And when it comes to grandparents, my favorite memory is that they were always like an extra set of parents, because my parents, they were usually always fighting, so it was never very, very happy in the household. And they would come and take us places, or we'd go to the beach, and it just really, it gave us the extra love that we needed. What I'm most grateful for today is also friends, having people that I know. And I met a lot of nice people at the gym we're going to, so I have to thank Connie for that also.
Yeah.
And that's it.
All right. That leaves you, Lisa, right?
Me and Poppy. So, I like that first question. Only, is this I'm assuming supposed to be a good influence, not a bad influence?
Yeah.
Just an influence.
I've learned a lot from people that were a bad influence as to what not to do. But I'll give you 3 guesses. You, Aunt Connie.
Uh-huh.
You have been more a part of my life, actually, and around and looking after me and motivating me and inspiring me just through some really hard times. And I have fond childhood memories of you too.
Wow.
So you're a great influence in my life. I don't have a best friend high school memory because I wasn't in school long enough to have really a best friend. Grandparents, one of my favorite, funniest memories is of Grandpa Buford, which would be Aunt Connie's dad. My sister and I were there, and we decided we wanted some microwave popcorn. And apparently, Grandpa didn't know there was any such a thing. And he was just fascinated. He pulled his chair up to the microwave and was looking in the microwave at the microwave popping. And we filmed him. I have that somewhere. But just he's just hilarious, you know. And every time I would go visit him, I would go back to the base and I'd be like, "Whoo, I'm exhausted. My grandparents wore me out because they didn't sit still." Every time I go there, I'd come back exhausted. What I'm grateful today is friends, and of course, and I'm pretty proud of myself that I broke even on the gambling cruise yesterday. I was a good girl, won some, and I put away what I brought with, and I broke even.
Good for you.
So,
Had fun.
yes, I had a blast. Had a very, and it's just so nice, which those of you that have known me know I started in my little room, and this was my social circle, and now that's greatly expanded. And really, for the first time in my life, I can say I have friends, like friends that I see, talk to, do stuff with, not just friend that you.
People in this room have watched you evolve, Lisa.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I actually have to keep track of stuff in a calendar now because I have a social calendar. So, yeah, I'm done.
All right, Poppy, you ready? What is that squeaking?
Okay.
My bird.
Oh, I think it was mine.
Well, the person that comes to my mind that I want to influence the most in my life is my wife. She has influenced me to be a better person, a nice person. She has gave me so much. I have nothing in this world that I don't have. But she has gave me everything.
Oh.
I know. This is
She influenced to be a much better person than I could have been.
move on.
Yeah.
And she's got my heart too.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's
Are you
it for me. And no more to say.
that's it. Well, thank you. Wow. Hope I can
You're
still.
making me cry. That's touching. Yeah.
I know. He gave me tears. Okay. Thank you, Tony. And thank you, Lisa. Oh, that was very special. So the challenge, right to the challenge. Did anybody do the survival weekend challenge?
Yes.
Did everybody do it? I just want to make sure everybody knows about it.
I'm not sure.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, I think
Go ahead. So like on Friday, they ask a question about going into the weekend and being faithful to the whatever program you're on. They challenged you to do that for the weekend, and they gave you an extra 20 points. And then you go in, was it yesterday, I guess? And it said, did you complete your challenge? And I was very good. I did the challenge just right. And then today they've announced who the winners are. So
Well, I was not a winner.
huh?
I didn't win. And I did it.
It's okay.
Okay, and then I was going to talk to Marcia about weigh-in. If you guys want to come over, I'll take care of it. I got the scale and your numbers and everything. The last is on the 25th, rather than you wait to that last day or something, you know. It won't be stressful for you.
I see it tomorrow, Connie.
Well, I don't care when. You got time. Today's just the 20th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you got
The weigh-in is until March.
Huh?
yeah.
The weigh-in is in March.
A way out.
The last day to invite is the 25th.
Yeah, but the weigh in, she hasn't weighed in for this challenge. Weigh out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Okay. Appreciate the help.
February 25th.
And of course,
Either.
the end will be on March 11th, and there's no information about another one. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to use everybody's help, and we're going to take from what we learned in the last few weeks, and we're going to move it to how to nourish your metabolism back to health. Are you tired of having a stress metabolism? I have been there, and I'm living proof that habits can be changed. A stressed metabolism can become a nourished metabolism. A few years ago, I showed every sign of having a stressed metabolism. I only slept 4 hours a night. I was exhausted all the time. My moods were erratic. I was often hungry only because my blood sugar was completely out of whack. Everybody wants to talk tonight. Okay, that's gone. My ability to handle stress of any kind was limited. To put it, when I was writing this, I was remembering how Marcia said she used to come over and I was laying on the couch. You remember that, Marcia? To put it simple, life was losing its luster, and I knew this was no way to live. There had to be a way to get healthy and to be healthy. So I have been reading books ever since. It has become a great experience for me because I can now share with you. We are going to discover what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Small adjustments really do add up over time. And I think everybody in this room is better off today than when they first started, and probably further than most people. And it was all done in small bites. And we keep getting better every day. So many people feel like they are going in circles trying to get healthy, always moving, but never really getting anywhere. We're going to learn how to keep it all in balance. No pressure to be perfect. We are here to make real, positive, and lasting changes because that is the only kind of change that really counts.
Mhm.
The current areas of your life that need help depends on your current eating habits, your lifestyle, and the state of your metabolic health. So diet plus exercise plus stress, they all influence each other and they all affect your metabolic state. What you are doing good may be canceled out by what you are doing bad. Lisa, would you read?
We will be covering over the weeks how eating a balanced diet that give your body the energy and nutrients your body needs to function at its best. We will be learning the real basis for eating well and nourishing the metabolism. You will also learn common eating mistakes that could be stressing your metabolism and preventing it from going to the next level. You will learn if your experience, exercise, and sleep habits are helping or hurting your metabolism. Chances are you may have the wrong ideas about exercise, and even more importantly, you may not be getting the sleep you need to nourish your metabolic health.
Go ahead, Lisa.
What we eat can affect how we think, and what we think can affect how we eat. How we exercise can influence our sleeping patterns. Sleeping well can give us energy we need to be healthy. A nourished metabolism doesn't make you superhuman, but the good days will far outnumber the bad, and the lows are never as low as they used to be. Amen.
Yes, yes.
So that's what we're doing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We will handle the big one first. What is stress? So we're not going to cover all of the ways to nourish because there's too much detail in each segment. So tonight we're just going to do stress, and next week we'll move on to the healthy eating aspect of it. What is stress? How does it affect our body? There are all different types of stress, and we will learn how to reduce or eliminate them. Stress, the metabolism killer. Bird Mom, you want to read?
Sure. There are many misconceptions about what stress really is and how it impacts our health. Understanding stress and how stress affects your metabolism is one of the most important things you can do for your health. Stress can be any event that triggers a marked response by the adrenal glands. This is the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. It's your body's natural response to any stressor. It responds to any stressor, good or bad. It responds to every stress in the same way.
So we've heard this a million times in our training through Take Shape for Life about flight and fight.
Yep.
The same when we get upset because we're sitting in a line of traffic, we pump out that same adrenaline and cortisol that we pump out when we really are in a dire need to save our life. And we live in a society now where those little stressors are probably making us all sick. And this is just explaining that. And it's the same thing, just I found this to be a really clear way to actually get the gist of what they've been saying about fight and flight. Occasional stress hormones can provide a burst of energy, heightened reflexes, and a higher threshold for pain. So in the moment of some crisis, you get all of those things go on for you, that burst of energy, the great awareness. Pain's not even an object if you're trying to save your life. And that the occasional stress is what we were built for. With chronic stress, which is the norm in our society, stress hormone levels can remain unnaturally high and eventually lead to damaging side effects. Adrenaline and cortisol are not meant to be chronically high, and when they are, they take their toll on the body.
That's right.
Dorothy, can you read now?
The beginning, there is plenty of motivation and energy to go around, but after a while, you suddenly feel drained. Your sleep suffers, your mental function is not at its best. These are all side effects of chronically stressed hormones. Other symptoms: poor thyroid function, blood sugar swings, loss of lean muscle mass, mood swings and depression, sleep problems, inflammation, high blood pressure, susceptibility to illness and infection, weight gain, particularly around the abdominal region. As time passes, chronically high stress can contribute to further degeneration. This is when the risk of serious problems like cancer, heart disease, and dementia increase. Yes, high stress hormones are the gift that keeps on giving.
Wow.
So learning to nourish your metabolism is big stuff, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Stress hormones are nature's way of getting you through a fight or flight situation. Stress hormones break down protein from your muscle and bone, and over time, your lean body tissue deteriorates. They deny energy to lesser systems in your body: digestive function, mood health. This is why poor digestion and low moods are some of the earliest symptoms of chronically high stress hormones.
Wow.
Jan, you want to read?
Sure. What causes stress? It's not always what you think. Understanding what constitutes stress is one of the most important keys to dealing with it. Otherwise, you could be very well letting untold sources of stress slip through your fingers without noticing. Here's a breakdown of common stressors: emotional and psychological stress, a workplace situation, dysfunctional relationships, negative thought patterns, loss of a loved one.
Go ahead.
But it could also be more subtle. Any situation that drains you completely, mentally and emotionally, day in and day out, is a source of stress. We all have stress, but it only becomes a problem when stressing is part of your everyday life and there's no end in sight. That's a sign that something needs to change. What we sacrifice. Sleep is for the weak, and a little bit of relaxation.
And downtime. Relaxing, taking care of ourselves, that's out the window. Taking time to just get away from it all, that's out the window. And then sleep is one of the first things that goes. Go ahead, Martha.
Time, our most precious resource. This is all too common in our society, where too many people sacrifice sleep, relaxation, and downtime in order to get more done. And the lady with the clock and the time, get more done.
So that's going to be it for the stress side of this. Let me stop sharing for a moment. And there we go. There we go. Anybody want to talk about any of what we just covered? And is it something that you could pick up a pearl out of? Did anybody pick a pearl up out of any of that?
You know what stuck out to me is, if everybody remembers, I was in a fight or flight, high stress situation for months upon end, and I can attest to the damage and the toll it took on me in every aspect. And so I'm a walking example of, less stress in your health. My health has just improved dramatically. And so stress was nutrition, but right behind when I say nutrition, stress was right there with it. Now that's gone, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I can identify with one thing. I love to watch the Olympics ice skating. It is all that I can do to sit here and watch it without wanting to be doing something else.
Oh.
I have to force myself to sit here while it's going on because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
But I feel like I need to get up and do something. It's terrible.
Excellent. Excellent. I want to come back to that. If my memory doesn't hold it, then you remind me what it was. Martha. Let me say Martha.
I think the stress part is off and on a lot because of Dick's health, and the machine has been so nasty this week. If I had a gun, I might shoot it. But I did talk, and Lisa's going to get a hold of Baxter for us, and she's trying to arrange for a newer machine because we've had this since he started, and it's doing all sorts of awful things, like not draining the fluid and making it right and going off.
So
constantly.
So the stress of the day in and the day out.
Yep. Yeah, it has been this past week. The machine she's just been awful. I told Dick he better start kissing her goodnight again. Because when we first got it, that's what he did. He said that's why she was always so good to her. But I'm praying we will get a new machine.
And we all stress. That is a natural part of us. It's part of our wiring. And I'm sure as we go through the sleep and go through the exercise and about allergies and other environmental things that contribute to the stress, if you took one thing away from tonight, mine is going to be the awareness of having the choice of whether to stress over it or to let it be. And I'm going to work very much at letting the air out. Yeah. I'm going to let the air out and see if I can stress less. Did you get any nuggets, Jan?
Did I get any what?
Nuggets from the lesson?
We have a tendency to put the stress on ourselves. And when you recognize that, then the problem becomes relieving the stress from yourself.
Yeah.
So it all has a lot to do with the self talk thing. So
yeah, the negative talk they talk
about. I think if you can be conscious of that and try and curb that and make yourself your friend, you're a lot better off.
Yeah. Dorothy, what I wanted to say about what you were saying, did everybody get what Dorothy was saying? Because it took me a second time to get what she was saying. Yeah. Because that's me. Sit down and do something I want to do rather than doing things I feel like I should be doing. That's huge. Yeah. I didn't even pick up on that, Dorothy, till you said it. So thank you for sharing. All right. So now let's go back and share the screen. Thank you, everybody. Did anybody else want to share anything else? Birdbomb, did you have a...
I just want to say that Dawn...
Go ahead, Dorothy.
Dawn said she misses everybody, too.
Oh, you tell her.
Well, we miss her.
Everybody,
sure.
Hi, Dawn.
We'll
We'll post it tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. So now, where were we? So we're finished there. And we'll go to our video. Now, this was the girl that was in the People's Magazine, and we watched it, and it was only like a little blip of her. Didn't share my sound anyway. This is falling in love.
Give extra, get extra.
I'll go away. And here we are.
Melody had been unsuccessful in a lot of attempts to lose weight, but a near-fatal car accident in 2012 pushed her to change.
It was when I had the accident. That day, the next day after being in pain, I was on my sister's couch and I sat there and I cried to God. And I said, I just want something. I'm sick and tired of being overweight. I'm sick and tired of feeling like this. And I just needed to lose weight. I swear to you, the next day a commercial came on, and it was actually the company commercial. And I called the number, and they set me up with this amazing coach. And she is what helped me to lose all this weight, because she's always been there from day one to now. Exercise is not something that you actually have to do so much of, which is great, and that's another thing that works for me. See all of this? I just ran up this. All of this. Now that I've lost the weight, I have so much more energy that I can actually do things now that I've always been afraid to do. So I've actually tried kickboxing. I was able to ride a bike for the first time at the age of 33, might I say. But yeah, there's so much things now that I can do that I didn't do before.
Voila.
Oh, cool.
That was it. So I did stop sharing. I'm going to stop recording. Good night, everybody. Hang tight.